Episode 13, unlucky episode. This week was a tough week. You'll see what I mean. So, just to give you a little roundup of where we are with these conveyors, the lads have got these side skirts just put on. They're not actually bolted on yet. And so the lads have gone back onto the mobile picking line for a minute because these conveyors, the delivery has been pushed back a little bit, so we've prioritised and put them on the mobile picking line. We always intended for this joint here to be finished off in the final assembly. We knew that we would probably have to grind this out here to match the belt, and it looks like they've already started doing it on there. And then those two pieces will get stitch welded together and then the paint touched up. Now, if you remember in a previous episode, I said that we would put the tail drum fairly close to the back plate so that this here covered the head drum. Well, I'm sure you can spot the problem here. After all of our efforts to put it in the right place, it's still not right. So what we are going to have to do is extend this out to here, bring this to here, which is disappointing because this is actually quite a nice fit around here, and with that over the top we are going to end up with some gaps, which is going to irritate me because it's not 100% how I'd like it. So these will get finished, and then the next stop will be off to France. The collection is actually in a couple of weeks now that it's been moved back, so we've still got plenty of time on these, but it'd be nice to just get them finished and get them out the yard. Other stuff going on in the workshop is the May glass trommel is now starting to come together. We've got the drum wheel mounts here. We've got the archway supports for the brushes. Steve's just welding up the archway supports for the infeeds. And then once these are done, it's going to start doing the main frame with all these bits on. So what we do is we get all the small components made first. We've got doorposts here to go in and a few other bits and bobs as well here, different guards. The actual mount underneath at the bottom of there is the actual mount for the control box. So what we do, we get all the little bits and bobs that make up the bigger assembly made up first, and then we'll make a start coming in with the big subframe, so that we've not got a big subframe sitting in the bay in the workshop whilst making loads of little stuff to attach to it. So we make all the little stuff first, and then we bring the big frame in, and then everything can get put on there together. We've also got the bunker panels. Steve's already made them up. So that'll be the back bunker panel. And then we've got the end leg support. And I think this bar here is for the control panel to attach to, and then we've got the left and right bunker panels at the bottom as well. This one's actually going a bit taller than normal. This one's going to 2.5 metres. We normally go 2 metres on this, but the customer has asked us to increase the height of the bunker underneath, so this trommel will sit a little bit higher than normal. The meshes are in for May glass as well, and if you watch last week's, no, 2 weeks ago's episode now, you'll know exactly who made them, how they made them, and where they come from. If you remember in a previous episode, we'd got the wrong flanges. Well, the flanges we'd got were 4-bolt flanges, and now these are 8-bolt flanges, so these are the right ones. So Connor has welded the elbow to the flange, he's put a short piece of pipe on, so when that welds to the bottom of this distributor, it'll weld it underneath like that. He'll be able to get in there with the welder, and it also means that they won't be fighting the spanners when it comes to bolting the pipe work to it. Because what they do with this is, the pipe work will have another flange on like this. Just whilst I'm filming this, I'm sure there's people that do a lot of pipe welding watching this, and they're screaming at the screen now going, that flange is on the wrong way around. And I've just noticed that face there should be on the other side. It's on the other way, so that should have been flipped over, because that bit there is what the flange mounts to. So these are going to have to be cut off, dressed up in the lathe, and welded back on the right way. So it's an easy mistake, and I'm sure it's not the only time it's ever happened to people in the past, but that needs changing, so we need to flip that over. So it's Tuesday. What is the time? 10 to 7. Still in the yard. Today feels like a long week. It's been a busy old day today. Phone, meetings, in the yard, sorting stuff out. Still got Andrew in the office doing paperwork. Got 2 lads in the yard doing the finishing touches to the mobile picking line, and I haven't had a chance to film. We've even been interviewing today. That went on for a couple of hours. So it's been a busy old day. So let's just get you up to speed where we are in the workshop. So, mobile picking line is going tomorrow morning. This time of year the yard can be a bit dusty, so the lads have just given it a wash off. Knowing our luck, it'll rain on the way up to Scotland, and probably look worse when it gets there, but we've tried our best. So that's it, all pretty much done now. They're just touching up the last few bits of paint, and then that's it. It's going. Got a lorry coming in tomorrow morning, get it loaded up. We've run it all up, checked everything over, everything's good. And that'll do till tomorrow. So in the main workshop we've got both the top frames for the oil screen. We're going to build them up in the next few days, probably next week. These were actually due to be installed end of next week. We had penciled them in to be installed end of next week. But where they're going, there's what they call a white wall that they're putting up. I don't know, I'm moving my hand, sort of gesticulating what I'm talking about, but you can't see that on the camera, but I'm still waving my hand, gesticulating. There's like a white wall going up, and that's not been put up yet, and we've had an email this afternoon to say that that is delayed, so there's a strong chance these will not be going next week. So we'll see what's happening with that. But these are, everything's painted for these now, they just need assembling. So we'll get them knocked out next week. Connor's been folding today. This is the 5th conveyor components to go to France. Done the 4. The 4 are being collected on Thursday morning, so a couple of days' time. and that is the 5th conveyor. That's going next month, so that's that. What else have we got in here? The lads have made up a transport frame for the mobile picking line. Because it is so wide on the legs, it's not going to fit on the truck. So what we've done is we've knocked up a frame. The legs will sit in here, one each end, and then this will go across the bed of the truck, and the legs will sit inside this just for transport, and then transport company will bring it back for us, so we've got it for the next one. So that's there just for transport. Neil has started to put together the trommel drum for May glass. This is the discharge end, and this ring here is what the 5th wheel runs on. I'll show you the frame in a minute and show you what I mean by that, but this is double skin, and it's also got plates inside, gussets inside, so it's nice and strong. This is what we call the 5th wheel runs on. So it has to be double skin, it has to be strong, because this ring here stops the drum from falling out the end of the trommel. So he's got that done there. He's also got the other end done, which I can't quite see at the minute. I guess that's outside. Yes, it is outside. I'll show you that in a minute. Bunker panels are here. Archways that will carry the cleaning brush are here. And Steve has started making the frame for this trommel. This looked a bit bigger than what I remember on previous ones, but then I realised this has actually got a 3 metre infeed, so that's why it is a bit longer. So the drum will sit in here, and the infeed will be that end. So we have the wheel mounts here. These 4 wheel mounts, they will sit in the corner here, one here, one at the far end up there, one across there, and one down here, and that's the 4 wheels that the actual trommel drum itself will sit on. So the drum will be here, and that 5th wheel that I was just talking about on that ring will sit here. It's a vertical shaft with a wheel here, and then that ring that goes around the trommel, this wheel sits against it, and it stops the drum from coming this way out the end of the trommel. So that's what that is all about. This end, the infeed, sits on these 2 mounting frames here. So these 2 frames here, the actual infeed itself will sit here. Now the infeed is basically a heavy duty conveyor belt with a hopper above it. Material will get put in the hopper and convey the material along and discharge it into the end of the drum here. Now this one has been beefed up and modified because the customer, because it's glass that these guys are screening, we've had to beef it up a bit. So we've had to upgrade the motor to make sure that that can pull the material out. We've estimated that we're going to have about 1.5 tons of material potentially on the belt when it's really full. So we've had to spec the motor to be able to power that, and because it is glass, we're not having a rubber side skirt inside. We're going to have nylon strips inside to be a side skirt, so that any glass that gets caught in there won't rip the rubber. It's a bit more heavy duty. So Steve's cracking on with this. Neil's going to finish the trommel drum, and hopefully by the time Neil's finished the trommel drum, this will be ready to put the drum in for the tri-fit. So hopefully in another couple of days this will start to take shape, and then we've got the infeed and the panels. But I think the plan is that Stevie's going to get this mostly done, and then we're going to lift it up and put those bunker panels over there underneath it, because they have plates welded to them that connects them all together, which we'll show you when we've done that. So we need to lift it all up, put it all together, and then weld the plates on so everything lines up. And then the bunkers will be taken out and painted and stored outside. This will come back into this position and finish having everything put on. So where this goes now, we'll get this finished as a sub-assembly, we'll get the bunkers underneath, test fit on them, weld the plates on, bunkers will come out, it will come back down like this, we'll fit the drum, we'll fit the infeed, do all the panel work, and then this one will get stripped down and sent for paint. This is the other end of the trommel, this is the driven end. So we've got the ring at the top, which is there for structure, and that holds the ring round, so we don't end up with an egg-shaped ring, because nobody wants an egg-shaped ring. The one at the bottom with the holes in, that is what the ring gear bolts to. So basically it's a cut-out profiled plate in 4 sections that get bolted on and welded together, and that's the driven gear from the motor and gearbox that drives it. So all of our trommels are driven by chain. So there's a motor and gearbox, the chain goes around the sprocket on the motor and gearbox, goes around this, and that's what drives the drum. Some people drive the wheels, we don't drive the wheels, we drive the drum with a chain. And then inside there is a ring, and that's there to stop material from falling out. This is the infeed end, so the infeed will come into this end, and we put that ring in there just to stop material from falling out the end. And then this ring and the other ring that I've just showed you, they will be connected by 4 pieces of channel, and that's the structure of the drum. There's a bit more to it than that, but that in essence, it's 2 rings, 4 pieces of channel, and that forms the basic structure of the drum. Let me just go and find you a piece of ring gear so you can see what I'm talking about. So these are the ring gear parts. There's 4 of these, and we cut these out on the CNC plasma, and they go in a specific order. If you look on here, you've got some notches in the end. So you've got 3 notches there, and that will match up with another piece that's got 3 notches on it. And then the other end, you've got 2 notches, just here and here. So we can get them in the right order, because everything has to marry up. And then that gets bolted to the ring that I've just shown you with all the holes in it, that's on the outer drum ring, the outer edge of that drum ring. This is what the chain goes on, this is what drives the drum on the trommel. Colin's been machining some components for the pallet conveyor to go to Birmingham. So these started off as these pieces here. It's got some more to do. So that's 120mm solid round bar. It's been cut up into billets, and then he's been turning these down. I think if it's the bits I'm thinking of, there's then got to be 2 holes drilled in here, and you'll see them when we start putting the pallet conveyor together. These are the rollers at the end that the actual chain will run over. The pallet conveyor starts off with 3 pallet conveyors. I think that each of them 7 meters long, and that's 3 chains that will take the pallet along to the corner piece. Then we're doing a 90-degree transition, which will drop the pallets onto a roller bed, and then that will take the pallets down, I think it's about 27, 28 meters long roller bed, and the pallets will go through the system. And those bits I've just showed you are the end rollers for the actual chain conveyor itself. So Colin's doing a lot of machining. He's got a holiday coming up in the next few weeks, and there's a lot of machining for that job, so he's cracking on with that. Somebody else I think he's actually cutting whilst Colin's doing that, but it is all go at the minute. It's all go, go, go. Luckily, we've had an email today from the oil company at Birmingham, and they have pushed their delivery back a little bit, which has helped us out, give us a little bit of breathing space, because we have got an enormous amount of work on at the minute, and it's becoming a bit of a challenge to keep up with some of the deadlines, but we've not missed one yet. Okay, so as you've just seen, mobile picking line delivered to site, installed, working. It was then. A few hours later, we had a phone call. We've had a kerfuffle. So Rob's gone to site, set it all going. Everything worked fine, not a problem. Set it all up in position, checked the tracking of the belts and everything else. So all done, signed off, customer's happy, left site. 3 hours later, customer rings up, said the belt's tracked off. And what it's done in the process is, belt's moved off to one side, it's took all the side skirts out that we've put in the hopper, going up the incline into the picking cabin. And there was also a brick that had got jammed into the belt as well, and that's what had stopped it. So the customer had noticed that it had tracked off, or it had ripped the side skirt out. So they only noticed it when they saw that the belt had stopped and there was a stone stuck in it. So customers took the side skirts off, tracked the belt, and what we think has happened is, because it's a relatively slow moving belt, we had that machine set up in our yard for probably best part of a day and got the belt tracked, and it was rock solid in the middle, not a problem. Obviously it's been moved, it's gone to site, and when we left it, it was in the middle. But if anybody's ever tracked a belt before will know that a slow moving belt like that, and especially a big belt like that, slow moving big belt, it can take some time for the tracking to go off. So I think that's what's happened. It's slowly worked its way across. And because on the tail drum on that machine, it is a convex tail drum, it's a crown drum, we thought we were pretty good. Just shows how wrong we were. So it's gone over to one side and the belt is all ripped out. And we'll show you a clip of the video that the customer sent right now. So as you can see, the belt's moved over, it's made a bit of a mess of the side skirt. So we've put our heads together and we've formulated a plan. Now this all happened last Thursday when it was delivered. It was delivered on Thursday, got picked up from us on Wednesday, travelled up on Wednesday, was delivered first thing on site on Thursday morning. And we found out about 2:30 in the afternoon, 2:30, 3 o'clock. So we put our heads together and we decided that what we were going to do was to obviously change the side skirts but do it different. Now, when we first designed that machine, we didn't envisage the chevrons to be as wide as they are on that machine. We thought we'd have a bigger land down each side with no chevrons. And when that belt turned up, we did look at it to see how it would work. And we thought the way that we'd done the side skirts was okay. Because we'd got the crown tail drum, we thought if we could get the belt tracked in the middle, it would stay solid in the middle and we'd be fine to put the side skirts up the side. But it turns out that we were wrong on that, because it now has moved, and it's the cleat, as the belt's moved across, it's the cleats that have took out the side skirts. So as I say, this happened last Thursday afternoon, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. By 4:30, we'd come up with a plan. Luckily, Rob had gone up to see family up in Scotland for the weekend, so he's going to drop back on Sunday, back to the machine, and we've ordered some new side skirts, which are going to go out on Friday. They went out on Friday to be delivered on a Saturday morning delivery, and we've ordered a load of side skirt to go to site so that Rob can go on Sunday on his way back down to us, and he's going to fit the side skirts. So that's what the plan is. That's what we're going to do. So Rob's been in there this morning, because as I say, this is Sunday now. I'm getting a bit mixed up on my days. This is Sunday now. Rob's been in there this morning. He's fitted the side skirt. So just shows you not everything goes to plan, because we do a lot of bespoke stuff, and this is the first machine. We've run it in the yard, we've crawled all over it. We crawled all over it when we did the designs, as you've seen in the past. We go all over the designs, we flip it over, we make sure we can put it all together. What would happen if that went wrong? Is that too close? What's clearance we got there? Go all over the designs to make sure that we try and eliminate all the problems as much as possible. And as I say, this machine's been run up in the yard, we've had a look at it, we've done various different things to eliminate any problems. But until you actually put it in the field, you just don't know. So as a company in that, we may need to make sure that we react as fast as possible and sort out any problems that do arise. So that's what we've done with this. We found out about it on Thursday, got the material that we needed on order, and we're in there this morning, today, Sunday, to get it rectified so that the customer doesn't have any unnecessary downtime. So just shows things do go wrong, but it's not what goes wrong, it's how you put it right. And I'd like to think that on this, we've put it right as fast and as best as we can. Okay, so that's it for this week, episode 13. Unlucky number for some, 13, and it certainly seems to be this week. There seems to be enough stuff gone wrong this week that 13 is probably a good number. So as usual, thank you for your comments. Please like and subscribe. There's something strange going on with subscribers on here at the minute. Some people are saying that they thought they were subscribed, some, and then all of a sudden they're not. So just check. If you think you're subscribed, just check to make sure that you are. So please like and subscribe if you've liked it. I'd like to know in the comments, if you could, what's your favourite project at the minute? Which one is the one that people are enjoying? Is it the 4 conveyors to go to France? Is it the oil screen project? Or has it been the mobile picking line? Be interested to know what people are finding the most interesting. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next week on episode 14.